Good morning, it's Jane. And do you remember this? This is bone broth. And I made I videoed 2 or 3 pages of this. And I decided I was going to do another page today. This is from an old sewing book that I altered. And you can see that in video 1 of bone broth. So today I'm going to do another page, and I've already chosen what I want. So it's going to be a real easy one today, because when I put this together, it came out very simply, and something like this. And I liked it just the way this is. So let's put it together. So the first thing I did is I cut out, fussy cut, some bones, bone broth, and some fish, and which seems to be the theme throughout this bone broth book. So I guess it's fish broth as well, because there are a lot of fish in there. And flowers, but this one's not going to have any flowers. So the first thing I want to do is clamp this down. Let's get a clip. There we go. Clip that down like that. And then we can start. And so I've got this piece here from an old book. I don't know what kind of book, but it was from an old book. I think it's from a pottery book. Let me see. And I'm going to put that in there like that. So this is a large piece, tends to wrinkle once you get it wet. But I'm going to use my thick PVA glue, which tends to wrinkle less, make the paper wrinkle less, because it's thick. I think that's why it makes it wrinkle less, because it's thick. I don't know, maybe it's just the nature of the glue, but anyways, it is nice thick glue, and it sticks well, and it is acid free, so it's not going to yellow with age, which, you know, who cares? I'm looking for age stuff, but anyways, all right. This goes down here, all the way down to the bottom. I've already painted this page with gesso, so it's nice and white, but a little bit of the print shows through. And this isn't wrinkling really at all. That's great. I think they're really nice. And if you've watched me before, you know that I use an old catalog to glue things on, and then as it gets messed up, I tear the pages off. So then I want to put the bones in. And they had them just right before, but I'm probably not going to get them the same. Yeah, like that. Like that. And then this fish is going to go through like that. I had it better before. What did I do to make it? Maybe that was that way. Yeah, maybe that was that way, like that. So it's going to look like that. So I have to glue those down and try not to move too much around, because I like the way it is right now. So I'm just going to hold that one down here and start gluing. Just going to tack it down in a few spots. I think you need a smaller brush too. Because I'm just well, this one actually I can glue all the way. I'll just glue it all the way down. The other ones I'm going to tack in a few places. It's really not how I usually do this, but I wanted to keep everything in that same spot. I didn't want to. I'm afraid I'm not going to be able to put it in the same spot I wanted to. Well, I probably would. Never mind. I'm just chatting and being goofy. Whatever. Here we go. Now, this one. See, I've already moved it anyway, so what am I fretting about? There. All right. Now, I hold it down a little bit and I start tacking it down. First, I'm going to tack that bone down. Down in there. I can hear the spring birds starting to happen outside, even though it's only the beginning of March, which makes me very happy that the warmer weather is coming. And I'm going to tack this one down to there. And then there. Now I'm a fussy cutter. I'm a fussy cutter. So when I cut things out, I try to get all the image cut out completely with having no margin around the image. You know, in other words, none of the white space or the background. So I really fussy cut. And I can show you somehow how I do that. I guess there's a little bit of a technique in doing that. Some people don't like cutting, fussy cutting, but I enjoy it. It's, for me, I just sit there in front of the TV or whatever. I don't watch TV. I watch things on YouTube, and I might watch movies on YouTube, but pretty much all I do is watch YouTube. I have a TV, but I don't have, you know, cable of any kind. Or one of those paid, you know what I mean. Guess I'm a little goofy today. I don't know what's going on. Okay, so I tacked this bone down and now it's ready. I can just glue the whole thing down because there's nothing under it or over it that I wanna put. Like some of these other ones that I've done are pretty intricate, and there's a lot of layering, and so when I get a composition down, I will just go around and tack things down and then go back later and glue it down permanently. This one is a little easier because there aren't that many elements. And I think I usually use matte medium usually on this. which is a little bit easier in that if you get it, you know, if it squishes out or if you get it on the surface, it's not going to be shiny. I mean, PVA glue is going to be shiny. You're going to be able to tell that there's glue there. But matte medium really wrinkles. So because these pieces are larger, you know, matte medium, I mean, really makes the paper wrinkle. So I'd rather use a PVA glue with these larger pieces. So that's what I'm doing here. Didn't I just do this bone? I thought I just did this bone. Now this one. I might be going out thrifting today. I don't have that much money today, so I won't be able to get too much, but if I get anything good, I'll show you guys what I got. I love doing thrift hauls, thrift haul videos. It's like show and tell. Remember show and tell? Do they still have that in schools? Show and tell? What do kids show these days? A new video game? I don't know. What do kids show these days? A new puppy? They still do stuff like that? I don't know. I don't know. I'll have to ask my grandsons. Of course, you know, it'll be through Zoom these days, or whatever they have for school programs, online programs. All right, this one's almost done. Boy, this is going fast. I think what I'll do is show you a little bit of fussy cutting after I'm got these all glued down, because that's down, and all I have is this other little fish up here, which I'm going to put on here. Just goes right there, and that is it. I got a page done, except I'm going to cut this here. Cut this out here. Come on. Easier to use my larger scissors. There. That's better. There, Jane. See? Okay. And that's it. That's my page for today. Now, I think I'll show you some fussy cutting. First, the scissors. These are my favorite scissors. I've had them for years. I don't remember when I bought them. They're Clover, and the number is it's Clover EX1-135. Now, recently I went online to see if I could find another pair, and they're extremely expensive. I don't remember spending that kind of money on these scissors, but they're like from $50 to $85 on Amazon. But they're the greatest scissors ever. I can't remember what type of scissors they're called, but it's Clover EX-135. Just look that up and you can find these scissors, and you'll see how expensive they are. I try to keep the glue off of them. I try to keep them very clean, and I don't use them for anything else except cutting my paper. So that's one pair that I use. This is another pair And I actually, there's a name on here which I cannot read. It looks like Karen something. My eyes are, I'm looking for a what do you call this thing? What do you call this thing? You know me, I can never remember the names of things. And it is Karen K. Biskley? Karen K. Biskley? I don't know. Or Bakley? It looks like either it's B-I-S-K-L-Y or B-A-K-L-Y. It's in cursive, so I can't really read it. But anyways, there's those. And then there are these other ones. These are no good. Well, they're not. These, you know, they're not. This is another pair. It looks like they're from the same person. They are the same as this person. And these are pretty good too. These are a little bit serrated, but they cut, and you can hear them actually, but you can't tell that they're serrated when you cut something out. But again, those are the types of scissors I use. I try to get the pointiest and the sharpest little scissors that I can find. You can also use these to cut around the image. In other words, if you want to cut this flower out of something, and you know, you cut around it first, and you can just use any old scissors for that, just to get as close as you can to the image. What else? Let me cover my glue. I think that's it. Oh yeah, you can use tweezers. You know, any type of tweezers. I've got these whatever these are. They're kind of like tweezers, glue all over. And X-Acto knife and an X-Acto knife. And these are the tools. And this one has a broken tip. Yeah, you want a sharp tip. You don't want a broken tip. That's a good one. Has a nice sharp tip. So those are the things that I use. Oh, and a mat. Of course, you're going to need, you know, something to cut on if you're using your X-Acto knife. So let's get something out that we can cut. And, oh, how about one of these? This will be good. This comes from one of my printables that you'll find in my store, journals.com. And what do I want to cut out? I think I will cut her out. So, what I do, and see, I might want to save that butterfly, so I cut around that. And just cut her out. Just roughly cut her out. Like that. Now, take my little scissors. Now, one of the tricks is when you cut, you're not moving the scissors around. You're actually moving the paper around, like so. So I am swiveling the paper around the, you know, back and forth, not the scissors. And you just follow the lines. And I'll cut into the image very slightly, so that I don't get any of the white margins around the image. And I just swivel and she has ruffles down here, so I'm swiveling around the ruffles. And turn the corner. And usually I'll cut pieces away. That way they don't get in the way of my scissors, because a piece like this, I can bump into it and my scissors will, you know, will hit it and then cut something wrong. So I cut the pieces away as I go along. Now to get up into a point like this, I snip it right up into the point and very slightly beyond the point. And then I come up on the other side and go slightly beyond, and that should just fall right out. And that way you don't leave this little fuzzy bit in the point there, in the little corner there. And then go around this little book she's carrying. I have a dull spot on these scissors. I don't know if I can get them sharpened. I'm afraid to get them sharpened. I'm afraid it's going to ruin them. Find a reputable scissor knife sharpener somewhere around here. So I continue to go around, and as you see, I'm turning the image, not the scissors. And I'm about halfway down the scissor. When I get to a spot like a corner, then I go right down to the point. Like right here. Well, actually I can go right around here, her head here. But anyways, you get the idea for that. And I'm cutting that piece off so it doesn't get in my way. Now she has, right in here is the arm, you know, the what do you call that? Where her elbow is. So I want to cut that little area out. So how I do that is I'll actually poke a hole into the white area or the background area, and then I'll just cut a hole. I'll actually cut a little hole in there. You can cut a slit, but this works better because it gives you your scissors room to work. And instead of going down into that space, I go up, I stick the points from the bottom up, if you can see. Can you see? So the scissors, not this way, but up this way. Is it better this? I don't know which is better for you to see. And then you can snip. I'm actually snipping because it's such a small area that I'm just snipping with the points of the scissors. And I snipped up into that corner like I did before, a little bit beyond. And then I can either turn it, which I usually do is just turn it and get into that little corner and just snip. You just have patience, go slowly, and you can get it done. I snipped into that little corner, snipped up, and then around, and it just falls right out. And that's pretty much it. I showed you all the little areas. Let's see if I can find something else that I want to show you. Let's say you wanted to cut out, I'm trying to find something that will, you know, something like fuzzy. There's nothing on there. Let me find something to cut and I'll be right back. Okay, this is not the best example, but it'll give you an idea of what I'm trying to show you. See how these leaves are, you know, have, they stick out all around. So what I usually do to cut something out like this is I'll go in and keeping the image, in this case it's a leaf, on the left side of my scissors, I cut in to the end. Then I go to the next one and cut in to the end of that one. And I might as well go back here and do this one. I'll do one whole side. Cut in. And then this one. Now I've done this to all the leaves, and you can see. And then I'll come in and cut with this leaf, the opposite side, with having the image on the right of your scissors, which in most cases when you have the image to the right of your scissors, you're going to leave a little bit of a white space because you can't really see what you're cutting. I guess unless you're left-handed, I guess. So if there's some white area left afterwards, you can just go back in and snip it off. But then I go right down again to the point and then go back in and snip down the stem. And because the stem is so thin, but you can see how I cut that leaf out, and again come over here to the other one and cut on the opposite side right down to the stem, and then cut across. And you just go very slowly, and if you cut a leaf off, no big deal. Actually, if you cut through, I mean, you're gluing this down, so if you cut something off, you can just glue it back down. So it's not really that big a deal. But I like to go in and cut a bunch of things out at once and then just save them, and then I can go into my stash of fussy cut images and find something that I want to use. So I'm just going to try to pull that out and leave a little fuzzy area there if you pull it out like that, but that's okay. There's not much there. But that's how I cut out little small areas. Now, on the other side, and this is a super thin stem, but you can still do it. You can still do it. And the trick is you just go really slowly when you snip into that corner. Now, I'm not going to go and cut all those. I just want to show you how to cut against the stem. So I do the same thing, but extremely careful not to. And as a matter of fact, I will leave some white area around something that is thin as that. Like sometimes I'll have bugs with antlers or something, and I want to have the antlers and the legs still there on the bug, so I leave some of the white area on there. And then afterward you can go in with a marker and just color up the white area around the leg, or in this case a stem. So you can see here that it's a very thin little stem, but I don't know if you can see that it has some white area around that stem. So what I'll do, or what I can do, is either use your ink blotter, but this is kind of, you know, rough on it, so it might break it. So the best thing to do is to actually get a marker, and this happens to be a blue micron marker. So I can come in and you can just color in the white areas, and it's really hard for you to see, I know, but I colored in the white area around that stem, and that takes care of that. So what else? I think that's all I can think of right now. I'll show you some other little tricks later if I think of them. But I just wanted to show you a little bit of fussy cutting, and I wanted to show you another page of this. And so that's it. Bone broth. Another page in bone broth. And you can see the making of these pages in other videos. I think I had 3 pages. 1, 2, I think I had 3 first I showed you how I actually altered the book, and then I showed you a page, and I think I showed another page. Anyways, they're there. Go ahead and have a look. Thank you for watching. I hope you got something out of this, and hope you enjoyed it. And, oh, I never did use the X-Acto knife. I can show you that. See, I'm down on my mat here. But that's, you know, I don't like using an X-Acto knife that often. But you just go around the image with your X-Acto knife. And the reason I don't like it, I don't know. It tends to drag along. I don't know. Maybe it's because I don't have a sharp blade, but an X-Acto knife will work. So you could use that as well. And see, I started cutting that piece out. But anyways, I just want to show you that real quick. And tweezers, you can actually go in and pull the little pieces out of there. That's it. That's it. I hope you enjoy this and have a great day. Be safe out there, and I'll see you next time. Bye.